All right then. This is old Uncle Bunky, and we're sitting here on the front porch, and they done gave me the day off from North Austin Public Radio so I could spend some time with my little great nephew R.W. He's sitting right here. Say hi, R.W. What? Yeah, he's a good boy. Anyway, we got a caller from our third cousin Nancy. Nancy Six Toes? Wait a minute. Does Nancy have 6 toes? RW, does she? What? Yeah, I guess she does. Her name is Nancy Six Toe. And so, Nancy Six Toe, your request was that I tell you the story of Red Robin Hood. No, wait a minute. That's Robin Hood. Red Riding Horse? I don't know, something like that. Anyway, once upon a time, there was a girl named Redhead Riding Hood. And she had red hair. Redhead Riding Hood. Because she'd get that red hair and she'd ride all over the hood. That was her thing. So one day, her mama says, "Girl, get the hell out of the house. I'm sick of looking at you." She goes, "No problem. I'll go over to Granny's house. She's always nice." I knew her granny. Her granny was the daughter of this woman that I had a little apartheid. How do you say? I don't want to talk in front of children like that. But anyway, her grandma and I used to. Well, let's put it like this: we used to go to that county dance once a month and do the June bug. That was what she liked. So sure enough, here's a Red Riding Hood in our hood. She's done riding. So she goes, "Okay, Mom, get out of here. I know you get sick of me. I get sick of me too." So she bums out, but right before she leaves, her mama just baked her fresh bunch of oatmeal cookies. Just oatmeal. No, nothing. Oh, good old oatmeal cookies fresh. That's the best one you're going to get, right, RW? Right. Good. At least this boy has that much sense. So old Red Riding and get them oatmeal cookies. She puts them in a little picnic basket. And she said, "I'm going to take these cookies to my granny." The hell with Mom. So there she goes now. There's the right way to go from her house over to Granny's house, way around on this fancy road. But Red Riding Hood's like, "The hell with that. I'm going to take the straight road." Well, that straight road goes through a dark forest. Dark, scary, dark forest. And but Red Riding Hood, she's from the hood. That don't bother her. She carries a box cutter in her pocket. Better not step to her because she one of my kin. That's just how we roll. So there she is, bip-bopping, dip-bop-dooping along in the forest. Who shows up? Old Mr. Wolf. Hungry as always. And he goes, "Hey, Red Riding Hood, I guess I'm just going to eat you up." Well, Red Riding Hood reaches in her pocket. She holds that box cutter, but she wants to be nice. She don't want to cause no trouble. So she goes, hey there, Mr. Wolf. You're hungry as always. I can see it." He goes, "Yeah." She said, "I see your bones sticking out of your skin practically." He goes, "I know. I haven't eaten in such a long time. That's why you look so delicious. Plus, I can smell you like you smell good. I was going to eat you." So Red Riding Hood goes, "Well, Mr. Wolf, tell you what. How about I give you one of my mom's oatmeal cookies so you leave me the hell alone?" Well, Mr. Wolf, he does try to be a gentleman about things. So he says, "Tell you what, you give me 3 of your mom's cookies and I'll leave you alone." And Red Riding Hood says, she drive a hard bargain. She one of us. She goes, 2 or I walk. 2 cookies or I walk. Mr. Wolf says, "Fine, 2 cookies. Bargain well struck." So she done hands him the 2 cookies, and then she just keeps her right on walking. That's how it went down. She never did have to use that box cutter. She don't want to. But anyway, she got it. So that's the end of it. Then she's kind of walking around in the forest. Well, in the forest there are little meadows, all kinds of pretty flowers, little bunny rabbits, little deers, some little birds flying around. And old Red Riding Hood, man, it's a long way to walk to Granny's house. I kind of forgot. I'm going to sit down here in this little pasture, and I'm just going to look at the flowers and the buzzing buzzy bees and the butterflies and the birds and the trees just swaying in the breeze. And I'm just going to mellow out. So Little Red Riding Hood, she gets into the lotus position and begins to channel her breath through transcendental meditation. What's that mean? I don't know. Do you care? I don't. Anyway, some time goes by when she finally comes out of her deep state trance. Right, RW? What? Yeah, anyway, she comes out of the trance. She remembers the cookies. And she remembers if you let them dry too long, they're not as good. So she really doesn't need to get those to her grandma's while they're still fresh. She says, uh-oh. So she hurries on up through the forest. She comes over to grandma's house. There it is. Kind of in the middle forest by itself, really. But so she goes, Granny. No answer. Granny. Granny. Granny, it's me, Little Hood. The one with the red hair. The red one. The Red Riding Hood. Finally, that door creaks open just a little bit. And there, sure enough, is Granny. Now, old Little Red Riding Hood, she had been over there too much. And, old people, kind of hard to tell because they're so old. Just like Nancy Six-Toes. She's got to be 100 years old by now. I bet Nancy Six-Toes is at least 100. What do you think, RW? I don't think so. Well, what do you know? You're 3 years old. Anyway, Nancy, it's Nancy Six-Toes. So, Little Red Riding Hood goes, tell you what, Granny, go get you back in bed with that bonnet. She's wearing a bonnet, those old women back in the day, they had a bonnet and they wore a sleeping gown. Just a big bunch of, they all had like pastels and some kind of weird cloth fabric that they drape around and look like they're walking around like in a ghost costume, what it looked like. She goes, Granny, why don't you get back in bed and just chill out? I'm going to get you some cookies and y'all got them dairy cows back. I'm going to go squeeze you some fresh milk out of that. You get in bed and relax. I'm bringing in the cookies and the fresh milk. And who she thought was Granny said, okay. So she gets in well, wait a minute. The Granny gets in bed. Little Red Riding goes and milks some cows. You ever milked a cow, RW? No. Well, it's a helpful thing to know. Okay. So anyway, she gets that milk and and the cookies, puts it together on a nice little tray, and takes it to who she thinks is Granny, sitting in that bed. She goes, here you go, Granny. And then Granny starts to eat them cookies and drink that milk. Now, finally, little redhead Robin Hood. She is Robin the Hood. I didn't even mention that part. She spent 6 months in juvie from Robin the Hood. She used to be a second floor cat burglar, just getting money for her mama. I don't know what was going on with that. She did that 6 months juvie, came out, been pretty clean ever since. So there's a lot of reasons she's called Little Red Riding Hood. More like Little Red Robin Hood, I say. Right, RW? Right. Well, at least we're clear on that. So she comes up to watch the quote-unquote grandma eat them cookies. Well, she watched her eat them. She got a big old fangs while she eat that cookies. And she go, my Granny, what big old sharp, dangerous-looking teeth you got? Do you file them? And Granny goes, that's okay, my child. Then Little Red Robin Hood gets another look at him. Granny, what crazy eyes you got? What's going on with your eyes? You got some kind of cataracts or something? What's going on? My eyes are tired, dear. Okay, well. Granny, I'm looking at you now. What a bunch of furry paws you got. Those aren't arms, those are paws. That's right. Then, what happened? RW, what do you think happened? I think she called 911. What's that? She called 911. You saw boys these days. Nah, back then there were no 911. You know why? Why? Because there weren't no telephones. You had to be your own 911. That's how we came up hard. Okay. Well, anyway, she can't call 911 because there are no such thing as a phone. So what'd she do? She says, I better book. I got to book. I can get out of here because that ain't Granny. That's a wolf. So apparently, then she notices that wolf is big and fat like a pregnant woman. And she goes, I bet that's where Granny is. He done ate her. And then, sure enough, man, wolves are pretty quick on their feet. Old Red Riding Rabbit, that sounds about right. I'm going to call her Red Riding Rabbit. Red Riding Rabbit starts to book right out of their way. Old wolf, he's one step ahead, snatches her up, and eats her too. I guess he has a stomach that is easily distended to accommodate these kind of great meals. You know what I'm talking about, RW? No. Did you ever see a python eat a deer? No. Well, then start watching Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. That's where you learn a lot, okay? Okay. So sure enough, now that wolf, not only did he have the cookies and the milk, but he also ate Granny and Red Riding Hood. Now he's real tired. How do you feel after you eat a real big meal? Tired. Right. So now he's really tired. Now he really does have to lie down in bed and just digest Granny and Little Red Rabbit Hood. So he's laying there just starting to snore, you know. Well, who comes along but Granny's neighbor, the huntsman. Here comes the huntsman. The huntsman. He's a huntsman. He's a hunter. Them huntsmen are huntsmen. Of course, he got a real sharp knife on his belt. All the good huntsmen's got that. So he and Granny go way back. He knows just open the door and check it out. So he opens the door. He sees that big fat wolf laying in that bed. He goes, something ain't right. And that wolf is so bowed down with all that Granny and Little Red Rabbit Hood meat in his belly that he goes, I know what that is. So he very quickly walks up, gets his hand around Wolf's neck before he can do nothing, whips out that knife and disembowels that wolf. Just zip right up the middle. Very careful though. That wolf's belly pops open and out jumps Granny and Little Red Rabbit Hood. And they say, thank you very much. And then they say, what you want us to do with this wolf? And they say, well, take him out back and skin him. We'll cure that hide and make him a little rug in front of the fire. And husband says, that sounds good. And then old Granny said, hey, this all been so much fun. I'll make y'all a big pot of chili. So the huntsman made the wolf rug. Granny made the chili. Red Robin Hood got on Instagram, told everybody about it. And they all lived happily ever after. Except for the wolf. The end.